Okay, so now that you've got your product perfected, you've done your research, and you're ready to open your business, pictures. You have to have pictures of your product in order to sell them. So I'm going to actually take my whole camera outside and show you two different ways, one inside and one outside, that I recommend taking pictures. So the board that I'm going to use is actually like a shelf top thing that I have, but I recommend you just go to Dollar Tree and get a thick white foam board for $1 and take your pictures on that. A lot of people don't like using just a plain white background. You can go to Hobby Lobby and get like a wood scrapbook piece of paper that's wood image on it, and take your pictures on that. Whatever you decide to take your pictures on, never do it on carpet, never do it on grass, never do it in a dirty space. Make sure that your pictures are in a clean, well-lit, clutter-free background. So let me take you and show you how I do it. Okay, so here I am on my porch, barefoot, but I'm in indirect sunlight. So that means you're going to be outside, but in a shaded area. My front porch is a covered spot, so it's actually perfect. But if you notice, let me angle the video, my kids have chalked it all up. Customers are never actually going to see that, and my product's actually not going to touch it. So this is what I use. This would be what your poster board is. It's white, it's clean. I'm gonna lay that down. Ignore my feet. I'm just gonna move this camera over so you can actually see. I'm going to put my product on it and take the picture like this. I'm gonna move the camera over so you can actually see what this looks like. So this is the product directly on the board. Obviously you can turn which angle you're at to control where the shadow is going to hit just by turning like this. I am with the sun behind me, but if you notice, this would take a really great picture, and you can use the settings directly on your phone. You can see that I'm playing with the settings here. You can use the settings directly on your phone to edit the lighting, and I will actually show you how I edit my pictures once I've taken them and downloaded them onto my computer right after this. Clean background, bright area, very vivid image just from my phone, and I do not have an iPhone. This is just an Android, so you can make whatever you have work. I did forget to mention in showing you just now that you want to take several different angles of your product. Show the back of it, show the side of it, show the top of it. Every angle that you can get a photo of will be better, especially if you're posting to like your website or Etsy. The more photos of the product, the better, so get different angles. I just want to show you that this is a space in my office that I can take a photo of inside in indirect sunlight. If you just want to put your whiteboard right in front of a well-lit open window, you can do that. And if there's not enough light, I recommend getting a ring light like this one to direct more light directly at the board. So it can be, you don't want it to be like blindingly bright. Again, you want to play with the settings to see, but this is a good option. Okay, so now that we've taken the pictures, I'm going to show you exactly how I edit them, like step by step. My picture is going to be downloaded on my computer. I'm going to go into PicMonkey. So PicMonkey has a free version and a paid version. The paid version just offers a little bit more editing and a lot more, like you can use your own fonts. So I do actually pay for PicMonkey. I want to say it's $7.99 a month. And I believe I have an affiliate link that you can use if you want to pay for PicMonkey. But you don't have to. You can use the free version and it's just as good. So I'm going to go in here and open up an image. I'm just going to choose something random. Okay, here's one. Okay, so here's an image that I have not edited before. It's seasonal, but just go with the flow. It's just one that I found. You can see that there are actually a lot of shadows in this area around here, if you can see my mouse. A lot of shadows. It's really dark. So the first thing I'm going to do, let me make sure you can see the edge over here. Focus on right here. I'm going to go to this little tool. Can you actually see that? Let's see. This tool right here that says effects. I'm going to click on that and scroll down to the bottom. And this might actually be a paid effect. I'm going to click on, no I'm not, I'm going to do this. I'm going to click on touch up. So the little face here, I'm going to click touch up. I'm going to scroll to the bottom and I'm going to click highlights, which is at the bottom down here. I'm going to take this little circle, it might be a little hard for you to see, and I'm going to make it all the way to the corner where it's white, and I'm going to take this one and make it all the way to the corner so it's right. I'm going to enlarge my brush a little bit, and as you can see, I put the circle on my screen here, and I'm just going to start highlighting all over my image. See how much brighter it made it? I'm actually going to do it again just because I want this to be really, really bright. And don't worry if it gets too bright, you'll be able to fix that in a second. So I'm going to do it one more time. I'm going to make it really, really white. See how white and crisp that background's getting? Now, like I said, this highlights one might actually be a paid option. I believe PicMonkey is $7.99 for the upgraded version, but totally worth it in my opinion. So the background's really, really white, but it kind of washed out the image, right? So now I'm going to go into this top one over here, if you can see right here. I'm going to go to this top one where it says basic effects, and I'm going to click on exposure. I'm going to move my shadow button down so that it gets a little darker, and I'm going to move my brightness up. I'm just going to play around with it until it looks like I want it, and I can always go back into that highlight area and do it again if I'm not happy. I'm going to click sharpen so that it's going to bring out all the letters very well, and clarity to make it super clear. Now I'm still not happy with the background of this whiteness, so I'm going to go back and again to the highlights, and I'm just going to kind of do around the image, not the ribbon itself or whatever your product is. And you can kind of go right up to the edge, just like this. And you can change the hardness of it down here, the fade of it down here, so that it doesn't edge up really bluntly if you're not going to go on top of your image like I just did. So I'm going to go back in here, add a little bit more shadow to the image itself. As you can see, it's getting much better. You can resize it here, you can sharpen it, you can rotate it, you can change the background, you can crop. So if there was a spot on your whiteboard, sometimes that happens where I'll have like a pin spot where I accidentally marked on my whiteboard and you can see it. You can edit that out, you can crop it like this, and then you can even add your logo. So I'm going to go in here, I'm going to add my own logo, which I have saved under the images that I use often, somewhere in here. So if you add your logo like this, you can go, if you can see this option, you can't, hang on one second. So you can see this little box that pops up whenever I add my image. I'm just going to click over here to fade it. And I'm basically going to fade it all the way so you can barely see it. So I don't know if you can see it on my screen. Let me see if I can zoom in. Maybe you can see kind of the outline. So you want to make your logo so that you can see it, but it's not going to be easy for someone to crop out because people will steal your images. Another thing I like to do is duplicate this graphic, crop it down, make it small, and make it really obvious, and put it in the corner of your photo just like that. So now you have one in the background over your actual image, but it's faded out, so you can see it, but it's not super obvious. It's not taking away from the image itself. It's not going to be easy to crop out. And of course you have one that definitely claims this is your photo. This one would be easy to crop out for anybody, which is what most people do. A lot of people will put this logo on it, and then thieves will crop this out and just use this main image for whatever your product is. That's why you have this one that's faded out real well. And then your image is ready to go, easy to use, bright and clear. I hope this helps you guys. If you have any questions about editing or what I'm using and all that, we can go into the community page and talk about it there.